So a buddy of mine in the same industry as me was telling me how they had a client that made $50,000 in a month teaching other women how to sell digital products online. And he told her to put some money aside so she could reinvest in her business and her ads. But since she was new to business, she came into that money and started buying bags and just stuff and had no money to reinvest in her business and run her ads. And I thought, wow, now what if she really had understood the difference between assets and liabilities? She could have invested her money and put herself in a much better position. So I just wanted to make a quick video breaking down the difference between assets and liabilities, because this is something that really helped me along my journey and I think I should share it. So I'm going to try to make this as simple as possible. I put the assets in blue, liability in red. Try to think of the red as something bad or like a big warning sign. So what is an asset? An asset is a useful tool or valuable thing, person, or quality. The financial definition would be something of value that makes you money, something that's paying you every month, putting money in your pocket. This can be real estate, commercial, or residential. Real estate meaning buildings, and commercial meaning like commerce, where people do business, like commercial you see on TV, commerce. So it's simply investing in buildings where people do business. This could be like a building in a grocery store parking lot where the business or the grocery store would have to pay whoever owns the building a monthly fee for letting them rent their building and sell their food. Same like when you're paying rent or a mortgage. And residential real estate is where residents or people reside or live. This can be homes people live in. What makes this row in alignment with assets is it's not assets that you use for your own personal use. This is assets that you allow other people to use to make money. So a building that other people either live in or pay to run their business out of that you own and they pay you every month would be an asset, a useful or valuable thing, person, or quality. So we have vehicles or transport. If you have a car that you rent out to other people, that's an asset. While they're renting it, they're paying you. If you have a big rig in other businesses and need to transport goods and services, that would be an asset because you can either hire drivers or have people rent your big rig to run their businesses. A business would be an asset. If you have a business that's serving others, yes, you have to pay for your overhead and expenses, but the business is bringing money to you and putting money in your pocket, okay? This is more on a personal level. Friends with skills, resources, and access. So if your friends have skills like, hey, I can do marketing, I can do sales, I'm a clothing manufacturer, I'm a content editor, I do copywriting, I'm an accountant, I'm great in sales. These are friends with skills that you can build with. Also friends with resources. Hey, I have a camera. Hey, I have a team of people that can help you build X, Y, and Z. And access. Maybe they have great relationships with other people who are also highly skilled and stuff like that. And these people are also assets to your life and can help you build and obtain assets, okay? We have books, courses, content, stocks, and skills. So this can be either books you're buying to learn from, courses you're buying to learn from, good content you're learning from, or even the other way, books that you've written, courses that you've created, content that you've created, stocks you've invested in, and skills you have or have acquired. There's also other assets like IUL, life insurance policies, and any way that you can invest your money to bring a return on investment, ROI. Okay, so liability. A liability is something that subtracts from progress or gain. Finance definition, something that takes money from you, something that takes money out of your pocket. Now this could look very similar to these up here, so don't get confused. It is the same thing, but the intention and the use behind these assets make the difference from whether they're an asset or a liability. So your personal home that you live in, some people believe this is an asset, and although it does give you a roof over your head and warmth, and you can have your family in there, you know, that is essential for life, but in a financial term, this here is a liability because you're paying for the mortgage, money's coming out of your pocket. If a dishwasher breaks, if the pipes break, if you have to replace a toilet, mow the lawn, keep that up, keep the electricity, the gas, pay for property taxes, all these things are taking money out of your pocket every month. So this is a liability when it comes to the financial viewpoint. Okay, personal transport. Some people think I took out a loan to buy a car for me to drive. Now I have an asset. And although it can get you from A to B and it is essential to make daily life easier, it's still a liability because you have to put gas in it. You have to pay for maintenance and upkeep. You got to get it washed, pay insurance. It's something that's taking money out of your pocket every week or month. Skillless or negative people. This can also refer to your personal life. If your friends around are like, I don't want to learn anything new, new. I don't really care to learn new skills. You know, every time you're trying to do something positive, they have something negative to say. They want to talk about drama, gossip, celebrities. It's just always a problem. They always come up with a problem for every solution you find to life. This is a liability. They're taking prosperity, money, joy out of your life. Liability, okay? And also anything that could be just a growth hindrance. This could be fast food, poor media that you're consuming, drama, gossip, violence. That's programming your subconscious mind in a negative way. Subscriptions that you don't even use or need, or that's not adding any kind of value to your life, etc. So this is a very simple way of viewing assets and liabilities. Just look at it as things that add to my life and add to my financial gain versus things that subtract from my life and subtract from my financial gain. So when you're growing in your business and you're looking for places to put your money, you don't want to go buy a bunch of designer clothes and start splurging on things that you don't really need. It's smart to think of your money as little soldiers that are going out to make you more money. So how can I invest this money to make me more money? What I believe that my friend's client should have did was take her money and invest it back into her business. So ad spend, so investing in your ads, better organization tools like a CRM, client relationships management system, maybe hiring some people to take the tedious tasks off her mind. So maybe content editor, social media manager, appointment setter, sales rep, someone to help her coach the clients on her behalf. This would have gone toward assets. But if you spend thousands of dollars on bags and clothes and designer, it's like, hey, you have this stuff, but that stuff isn't bringing you money and truly assisting with your life. Sure, you can look at it as an investment toward your self-image and stuff, but you got to make sure you're investing in things to keep your life flowing. So this is the difference between asset and a liability. And I remember back when I was reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Think and Grow Rich, and just books that made me think of finance different. It really changed my perspective and really helped me understand that delayed gratification over instant gratification and investing in my knowledge, my business, and any kind of lucrative, logical asset that other people need that I could get my hands on was actually much wiser in the long run. And I wish everyone had this information. So I'm grateful to God to be able to share. Have a wonderful and blessed day. Assets over liabilities. All right.